Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Shekhar Iyer. For now, some serious political developments from a very objective journalist, senior journalist Shekhar Iyer joins me, and we're going to talk about all the things happening in and around India on the political scene. Shekhar ji, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaskar. Thank you very much, Sherji.
Shekhar ji, the first item that we're going to start with is the recently concluded conference of civil service officials. And Prime Minister Modi has actually told the officials, look, if some politician wants to, distribute freebies in the name of projects or trying to get some party people to become government officers, this is a direct hit at CPM. These people have been doing it for a long time. Many people. So what happens is the state government becomes a party itself. So a lot of stuff that has been mentioned. How much do you think on the ground this is going to happen, Shekharji?
It was a very, very unusual call, I would say, from the Prime Minister to the bureaucrats. Telling them, look, India is a democracy, so you will have parties with various ideologies and various political, plans and programs. So each of them may, try to woo the voters with a different package. But it is a duty of the bureaucrats, whichever party comes to power, and when it wants to spend money from the state exchequer for the welfare of the people or in the name of the welfare of the people, the bureaucracy must rise to the occasion and must see whether this is actually benefiting the people or is it just helping a political party to fulfill its agenda. This call from the Prime Minister to the bureaucracy is in itself very, very unusual and very significant. And I am rather surprised it did not get that much of traction that it should have got. Because virtually asking the bureaucrats who are now with the opposition governments, who have been promising reversion back to the old pension scheme, who are promising freebies, who are promising free water, free electricity, just to win the elections. Now, Prime Minister wants the bureaucrats. He says there's so much of, after all, Sardar Patel had called our bureaucratic system the steel frame of this country, particularly the Indian Administrative Service. So therefore, these officers must speak the truth to their political masters, whoever it may be. It can be even belong to the BJP. If there are programs and policies which are only a drain on the exchequer and which do not create assets, which do not benefit people, then they must blow the whistle. I mean, this call from the Prime Minister on the occasion of the Civil Services Day marks a very important, I would say, a change in the way he is addressing, the bureaucrats. Because, in the last 9 years, he has dealt with the bureaucracy. There have been moments where the Prime Minister has also felt, I would say, sometimes not disappointed exactly, but sometimes feeling that, no matter what he wants them to do, there is a drag, and the system seems to resist changes. System seems to resist more transparency. System seems to resist cutting the red tape. But the Prime Minister has pursued with it, and in several Civil Services Day previous addresses where he has offered, but this one address where he was in praise of the bureaucrats, saying that look, the same system is now giving results. The same system has adopted some of the very innovative ideas like aspirational districts, where experienced bureaucrats and the very young officers who have just got into the Indian Administrative Service going to the most backward districts, which have now been renamed as aspirational districts, and officers who had once served as collector in those backward districts, who are very senior officials posted in the center or even maybe chief secretaries, they work with these young officers to see that how things can be improved there. Now, while he was in praise of all that, he brought in a new angle, rather, I would say a new task for the bureaucrats. I'm actually wondering why the opposition parties have not reacted yet to this call, because basically he's saying, look, you don't have to blindly follow if you are, part of the government that is ruled by a political party that is interested in spending the money just to further their vote bank. I mean, this is a very important call to the officers, and I feel that the Prime Minister feels that the way the political parties, without realizing the damage it will cost on a long term, are coming with ideas and proposals which will actually put the clock back. That's the Prime Minister's greater worry. Because just to defeat BJP, you come with all kinds of promises. I think it's a very important message from the Prime Minister, and I do not know how bureaucrats are going to react. I mean, I can give you one good example, Shriyarji. The fact that the Delhi excise scam came to the light because the whistleblowers were the bureaucrats themselves. That's what I am told. I am told that it was the very bureaucrats who blew the whistle, who went to the LG and told him, "Look, this is a serious drain on our resources. This is the bus." I am told it is the whistleblower is actually a bureaucrat.
Shekharji, I just want to, I'm wondering what the follow through by the Prime Minister is going to be. I'll give you a real life example. It is being recited from first person experience. I cannot name the person. This is what happened in YSR regime, YS Rajsekhar Reddy regime. Andhra Pradesh was united. This man wanted to build churches in two of the hills around Tirumala, Tirupati, because it is Saptagiri, right? Seven hills. Okay. So he was, when the bureaucrats told him that it is not possible to do that, then he says, why? Doesn't 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙤 need two? Can't he be satisfied with two hills? Why can't I build there? So there was so much pushback from, both YSR and his son Jagan Mohan Reddy. They are aiding conversion in covert and overt means. I'm going to say this thing on record here, and the government, Modi government, for example, is not doing much. So what has also happened, Shekhar, this is personal experiences from having observed Andhra Pradesh politics. At least two chief secretaries, when they stood up to some nonsensical ideas of the chief minister, they were forced and they were shown the door, sir. So there has to be a remedial mechanism faster than the tribunal. Tribunal is a joke. I'll tell you why it is a joke. The DGP of Kerala, Dr. T.P. Senkumar, often I have disagreements with him, but I do believe that he has been treated shabbily. He was the one who was supposed to have been the DGP, and these guys wanted somebody else. His name is Behera or Nataraj Behera or something like that. And they forced him to go to the tribunal to fight the case there and win it. But by the time he was done, he had only 1 month left to serve as the DGP. So these people also are slime balls. They know how to work the system. So Mr. Modi, yeah, you are telling the bureaucrats do all these things, but you have to give them a way out. When you see, this system today is punishing honest bureaucrats. One line. Tell me what Modi government is going to do about it. I'm asking Prime Minister Modi's government, what are you going to do to make sure that the honest bureaucrat, because if you don't have honest bureaucrats, you'll have every day one Jammu incident. The system is leaking like a sieve, Shekharji.
No, in this particular Jammu Kashmir, I think that the problem is at the state level. The state administration as well as the state security system. I mean, the state police are always been under scan. There are black sheep among them. I mean, this has been a constant attempt to detect and weed out those elements. Sir, as far as bureaucracy is concerned, one thing that has to begin with, when the government started acting on some corruption involving the UPA era, the bureaucrats were lamenting that they were being singled out for political decisions of the UPA period. But then the Prime Minister later assured these bureaucrats, because then they decided that they must no longer get involved in decision making because they will be singled out. Then Prime Minister realized that a lot of the bureaucrats were refusing to take decisions. Then they were told that honest mistakes made in the process of decision making would be condoned. Honest mistakes. But those done with the purpose to bring financial or pecuniary benefits to a section or to somebody, that they won't be spared. So, because after all, when the former coal secretary was jailed, there was a kind of a huge outrage among the bureaucrats that a coal secretary was being signaled when all that happened in the case of coal auctioning during the UPA era. It was a political call. People knew that the role played by the then political secretary Ahmed Patel, in the way he was directing the PMO to issue licenses to particular companies for whatever reasons. Now, I think the point that is coming to the fore, Shekhar Iyer is this, that Already you are seeing in Karnataka also Congress has come with numerous promises. In Tamil Nadu, DMK made promises. The parties are making promises without bothering about how they are going to implement it. When the Election Commission came with a proposal, look, if you are making those promises, also give an idea to the voter as to how will you implement them, where will you find resources. Most opposition parties reacted angrily to the proposal, saying that the Election Commission is overstepping its mandate, its constitutional role. Who are you to tell us, what we should put in our manifesto? But all that Election Commission asked was, just as we tell you to, give the criminal background of the candidates, I mean, cases if there are any. Similarly, we want you to explain your promises. You are promising the moon without saying that how long will be your ladder to reach the moon. Now, similarly, I think, sir, a time has come, even of the bureaucrats. I mean, it is not this government or that government. We find everywhere, like, when the battle was going on between the center and Bengal, some of the bureaucrats even refused to receive the Prime Minister because they were instructed by Mamata Banerjee, do not, you don't have to attend the functions of the Prime Minister, you don't have to attend the meetings called by the Prime Minister or which were to be presided by the Prime Minister relating to cyclone relief. We have seen that political allegiance and political loyalty, particularly at the state level. Because once a party has been in power for, say, 2 decades, there develops a system where individual bureaucrats, though they may belong to the Indian Administrative Service, get politically aligned with the ruling dispensation if they have been there for a longer time. Now, the time has come because if these, sir, we knew during the era of corruption also, it was always said, it was the bureaucrats who used to teach the politicians how to make money and where to make money, how to get the cut.
Sir,
And
I have written
similarly,
tomes about this. Sir, I have written tomes about this. A particular individual who used to help out Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav, Lalu Prasad Yadav, and how Lalu Prasad Yadav, had used this bureaucrat's home address as the address for children's admission in New Delhi schools. It's so blatant, sir. I mean, Shekharji, I see some of these egregious things. What the heck are these bureaucrats doing? That person is roaming free. He has been, you all know who I'm talking about. This person has been guilty of many financial crimes, white collar crimes. Anyway, today I'm in a very combative mood because I see that 9 years have elapsed and not 9 yards have moved in many things as far as this Modi government is concerned, because there's so much data that has been put out in pgurus.com. Not a single, forget about the politician, his dog hasn't gone to jail, sir. That is my big disappointment about this. Anyway, back to our topic. What is the back way out? See, if you're telling the Babus to not take orders from the chief minister, what is he going to do? He's going to transfer you 100%. This is what's going to happen. You can ask for sending back to the original state cadre from where you've been. But the guy has capability. He may have experience in a particular department which will come useful. So how does one get that balance? That's my question, sir.
No, I think in this particular instance, what the Prime Minister perhaps wants these bureaucrats, to tell their political masters, whoever they are, look, some of the things what you are doing, this is not going to work. At least sound that warning. Put those warning on record. Put it on the files. At least they can do that, sir. Indian Administrative Service is protected by the fact that no state government can dismiss you. They can shunt you here and there, or they can send you back to the central deputation. That's all. But your job is secure. So in that case, why can't you, come out and say, look, this is not the way to get things done. But this is not happening. And so the other thing is also the same bureaucrats, because initially there was resistance to the 2014 mandate. So the 5 years that Prime Minister spent in exasperation, trying to get things done in Delhi, that itself is another story. But over the year, I think somehow the bureaucrats have realized that Modi would, keep pushing them to do what he wants them to do, particularly to review projects, cut time delay, particularly refined infrastructure. Those are beginning to show results, and that is something that he feels things have happened. But But at the same time, the resistance part, that's a very strong thing. I mean, what is called the law of entropy at work in bureaucracy.
Shekharji, I want to mention a story from this book. The book's name is Evolving with Subramanian Swamy, a roller coaster ride, written by his wife, Dr. Roxana Swamy. Now, Dr. Roxana Swamy's father was an ICS officer, Indian Civil Service, and in those days. And Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, I think it was the early 50s. Year is not important. The act is important. He wanted one of the Indian Air Force planes to pilot a girlfriend of his, some foreign girlfriend, to some place in, I think, Prayag or Kashi or something like that, from New Delhi. And he was the person who was responsible for that department. I don't remember his name, Dr. Roxana Swamy's father. And he said, fine, just give it to me in writing. 1950s, within a few years of India becoming independent, this is Jawaharlal Nehru. He said, give it in writing. He threw a fit. He didn't want to give it in writing. You know what he did? He transferred him out. So, people, you need to understand that a lot of lies have been spun around some of these politicians of India. And at least when somebody records it, I thought it's proper to tell that these things have been happening for a long time. You said, right, give it in writing. No politician will give any hanky-panky order in writing, sir. I'll give you another example.
Sir, but I can tell you one thing. At least in 9-10 years, no girlfriend has been transported by Indian Air Force plane, as it happened during Rajiv Gandhi's time. I can tell you that. At least that offense has not been created. We know in Rajiv Gandhi's time how Indian helicopters were deployed to ensure that Rajiv Gandhi had exciting company either in Lakshadweep or elsewhere.
There's another story about this that led to his actually assassination. I'm not going to talk about it here today. It's not appropriate. Next topic, sir, is Karnataka INC is swaggering, talking with a swagger, saying that we are coming to power, and already there is a CM battle. Are they getting a little overconfident, Shekharji?
Well, I think the mood is definitely upbeat. I mean, today there was a conclave by a news group, and one got to see all the players, right from Siddaramaiah, DK Shivkumar, even Kharge, and finally Basavaraj Bommai, outlining, and even Basavaraj Bommai, I was rather surprised, contrary to the reports coming. He also looked not as bad as I thought he would be. He also seemed to somehow feel that they can perhaps, put up a good fight. But one thing, sir, whether it is Siddaramaiah or DK Shivkumar, at least DK Shivkumar is not so explicit. But Siddaramaiah began his addressing that conclave by saying that, yes, I am one of the aspirants. I am one of the strong aspirants. I mean, that shows that the kind of mood that is. And interestingly, DK Shivkumar says, DK Shivkumar, sir, the game that is already being played out is, he is saying that definitely he feels that Mallikarjun Kharge has an important role to play, and that, he should, in fact, suggesting that if a situation comes, if he had to choose supporting Siddaramaiah and Mallikarjun Kharge, he would rather prefer Kharge as CM than Siddaramaiah. And so today, when Siddaramaiah was asked whether Kharge is also one of the aspirants, Siddaramaiah, immediately said, no, he has not expressed any such. He has ruled himself out from all this. When same question was put to DK Shivkumar, Shivkumar said, we have to respect Kharge's sentiments. Sentiments, not this particular thing which Siddaramaiah claims, that he is a senior leader. And finally, when Kharge was asked whether he is a CM candidate himself, Kharge's response was, I am in a position where I have to appoint CMs, not aspire myself to be. But sir, definitely, what is interesting is, sir, Janata Dal secular is also, has given tickets to a lot of people who didn't get ticket in the BJP or Congress. Now, the barometer in Karnataka is this, sir. If Janata Dal secular gets more than 35 plus seats, or even 30 plus seats, there is a strong possibility that it will be at the cost of Congress. Particularly in major areas, southern Karnataka, it is a more direct Congress-JDS fight. But then they would Definitely, if JDS gets 35 plus seats, Congress and JDS will form the government. Now, and if that is the case, Janata Dal secular, particularly H.D. Devagowda or H.D. Kumaraswamy, will not like to see Siddaramaiah on the chair. Now, there is already a talk in Karnataka that there is some understanding between D.K. Shiv Kumar and Kumaraswamy. And there are even saying they had a secret meeting in Hyderabad or some place. So the basic idea is Congress feels that, of course, and they are giving figures. D.K. Shivkumar said Congress will win 140 seats. Siddaramaiah says Congress will win 130 seats. But the big question is, which is the single largest party, whether it is Congress or BJP, and what is the number that the JDS gets? This is going to largely determine, the next government formation. If Congress, like it got in 2013, gets more than 100 and is very closer to the halfway bar, then perhaps there is a good chance, Congress will not have a difficulty and may not even have to depend on Janata Dal secular. But I don't see such a scenario, sir. It is not that easy for Congress to be able to form government on its own without needing support of JDS. Now, similarly, the case of BJP also, for the BJP, if the JDS gets more than 25, then JDS would rather go with Congress because they can extract the CM's post. So today you are finding, sir, Home Minister Amit Shah is saying that Congress and JDS are together. The same thing Basvaraj Bommai is also saying, that vote for JDS is vote for Congress. So the battle is turning out very interesting, and so far the Prime Minister's campaign has not started. Tomorrow Rahul Gandhi is reaching Karnataka, and the central leaders from the Congress will start campaigning tomorrow. So it's getting very, very interesting, and looks like there is a buoyancy among the Congress leaders. But at the same time, I think after this upheaval over denial of tickets to senior leaders and others, somehow the BJP people feel, and which Yediyurappa also coming out against Jagdish Shettar. Shettar and Savadi, Lakshman Savadi. I think the BJP probably feels they have to put up a good fight, no matter whatever be the implications of putting up 72 new faces. That's a very big number. They have put new people, so they are also bracing up for a situation where now or never type.
Well, very interesting times ahead, and we'll see how things play out. For those of you who don't know, Siddaramaiah used to be a JDS member, and he saw that, with Kumaraswamy becoming number 2, that there was no future for him in that party, which is why he went to Congress. And he's a pretty strong leader to to be imported into a new party and then to rise to becoming the CM and finishing the entire term. He's a man very skilled at maneuvering. That's all I can say. I tip my hat to him, because all these people, and at one point or the other, they were all proteges of Subramaniam Swamy. So there's a very interesting story, guys, about Dr. Swamy remembers PM Devagowda, and do watch that video. That's so funny. How Devagowda ended up becoming the Prime Minister of India. So do watch that one. Very interesting talk there. Let's go to RaGa. Sir, RaGa has now, he has to go and move the High Court if he wants to do something about it. Right now, I don't know if he's thinking that him not getting this stay is going to garner him sympathy vote. Don't you think now, with so much more information available, it is difficult to manage media messaging now?
Well, sir, Abhishek Manu Singhvi was on television the last 2 days, looking perturbed by, Surat Court not giving any relief to Rahul Gandhi. And and he kept saying, we are going to move the Gujarat High Court, definitely against the Surat Court's refusal to give a stay on conviction. But I sense a feeling that, when he handed over the keys of his flat, which he has vacated, to the CPWD officials today, there seems to be a tinge of sadness, as if, he was leaving that place, and the way the congratulations were playing it up, he was vacating a place which had been his home for the last 19 years. And it is all because, as Priyanka explained, because he's fighting for truth, he's fighting against Prime Minister. That's why he has been punished. Without least, looking at the logic of all this thing that has happened in the last 1 month, as to why the matter had reached a point where Rahul Gandhi could have found an easy way out and kept the bigger battle for on other issues. On the other hand, the way the matter ended, and constantly the attempt is to show that what the lower judiciary has done in Gujarat is actually a handiwork of the BJP. I mean, this suggestion is coming strongly from the Congress. Whether it is true or not, one does not know. But definitely, there is an attempt to play the victim card. And that victim card attempt, I think, I do not know how the people will feel as to Rahul Gandhi, losing his flat on the account of disqualification, government bungalow, and then moving to his mother's residence, that is 10 Janpath, which is a huge, sprawling complex. 10 Janpath, I mean, he used to stay there earlier, so he came out when he became a member of parliament. And under UPA rule, they had allotted a house to Priyanka Gandhi also, though she was not member of either house of parliament. So the whole intention is to show that Rahul Gandhi is a victim of the machinations of the Prime Minister and the BJP. Now, how long? I mean, how will this impact the voters? Are these issues concerning voters? I'm not sure. And I think when he goes to Karnataka tomorrow and starts his campaign, will he again keep harping on Adani and other issues, or he will concentrate on local issues? One does not know. But Rahul Gandhi just cannot take his eyes off the Prime Minister, which is his only thrusting point in all the meetings. Though Karnataka leaders are repeatedly appealing, the issue should be local. Even today I heard Siddaramaiah and even D.K. Shivkumar saying, we are strong on local issues. We don't need any national issue to be brought here.
If BJP has some intellectual gravitas, they will play up what Rahul Gandhi tried to do in London, saying that you elect this party to power, this is what they are going to do in your state of Karnataka. If they can effectively message that they have it wrapped up, I don't know, these people have their own strange logic on how they want to do their messaging. Sir, it's not this complicated. BJP should be coming back to power. This is the only state in South where they have a foothold. What are they smoking? They need to be much more serious about this, and they need to effectively message. That's my 2 cents. Shekharji, let's take some questions now, if you don't mind, sir.
Please.
Can we have some questions, please? Sambuddha Bhattacharya wants to know, please enlighten us when West Bengal can breathe without Muslim appeasement.
Well, not in the immediate future or in the distant future, because of the demography of West Bengal, where the voters belonging to the minority section, have a presence in more than 125 or so of the assembly seats. There are about 294 seats in West Bengal Assembly, close to almost 300, one can see. And at least 1/3 of those seats are influenced, and they have a 30% Muslim voter population. So therefore, for either the left party or for Trinamool Congress, they just cannot ignore this factor. So constantly, whether it is Mamata Banerjee or whether it is left party or even the Congress party, they cannot get over this. That is why you find this question as to, I wouldn't say appeasement as such, but definitely a state policy which is very much tuned to take care of, or rather frightened by the sentiments that you provoke if it were to act on certain groups and certain sections. That is coming across very clear in Mamata's case. And this has happened before also, and this is continuing to happen there. Because somehow there is a fear that if you categorize that group, it can influence, very seriously their prospects in Lok Sabha as well as in assembly elections.
Yeah, we'll wait and see how this plays out. I think a divided contest helps BJP in West Bengal, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Rohit Ravi wants to know, please talk about Satyapal Malik's interview exposing Modi.
Well, sir, this interview itself, which he gave it to first Karan Thapar, And then in that interview also, I believe in the last part of the interview where he does say, look, a lot of things that he said about Amit Shah are not very correct and not actually factual. He said that. But Satyapal Malik was problem is, sir, I think it started, see, he had to be shifted out of Jammu and Kashmir because Jammu Kashmir's status was reduced from a full-fledged state to that of a union territory because there were two unitaries based after the abolition of Article 370. That is why Satyapal Malik, who was the governor of the governor rank, was requested to shift to Goa. That time he had no problem. He did not protest or anything and he shifted to Goa. Now, when he went to Goa, something happened between him and the Goa Chief Minister, Pramod Sawant. And that was relating to some renovation work of the assembly building in Goa. I do not know what exactly happened, but definitely there was a running battle between the Goa CM and the Satyapal Malik. We do not know what happened. Now, that is why Satyapal Malik was shifted from Goa because the battle was getting very personal and serious. He was shifted to Meghalaya. Now, after he went to Meghalaya, then Satyapal Malik, of course, they did not disturb him or they did not make him resign or anything. They wanted him to complete the term. He did it in October last year. Now, shortly before his term was coming to an end, he made that allegation. That is in the last April, if I remember, where he mentioned that when he was governor of Jammu and Kashmir, he mentioned Ram Madhav's name, who was a BJP functionary then, coming with some proposal that required clearance that to benefit Reliance Insurance. He made that. So obviously Ram Madhav also issued a denial, and subsequently the questions were asked, if those things were there, did he ever write to the center about it? Did he put it on record? He did nothing of that sort. All this is cropping up now. And then, other things about Pulwama, all these things he has disclosed now. And it is also seemed to be time. Now, today he enacted a drama of going to the police station. Now, CBI registered a case on the basis of the allegations made by Satyapal Malik, not against Satyapal Malik. But since Satyapal Malik had said that, a big corruption offer was made, and the allegation was that somebody had approached. So obviously the Prime Minister Modi felt that this issue should not be left unchallenged, in the sense, if it is true, it must be investigated. If people are involved in such a thing, they must be exposed. So on the basis of Satyapal Malik's public statement, CBI registered a case. Then they requested Satyapal Malik to share the details. Who made the proposal? Who came to him? Were any middlemen involved? So in that connection only, they have asked him to summon him to come and explain, give details as a witness. But it was made out as, look, soon after the interview, action is being taken on him. And today, Home Minister made it a point to say, look, these things he could have said it earlier. He's saying only after leaving it. So a question mark is there as to timing, as to the credibility of it. Why is he saying this? But given the mood of the people who are dead against Prime Minister Modi, they have lapped up Satyapal Malik's allegation about Pulwama and other things. Now, and one can also see the Satyapal Malik supporters are organizing the CAPs, the Jat, because he belongs to the Jat community. They are organizing the CAPs also to make it a political issue against the BJP. So there is a lot of political thing going on here. And Satyapal Malik is definitely a hurt person. And he was once a close associate of Arun Nehru and VP Singh, and then he left the secular Janata Dal and Janata Party, and then he moved on to BJP. And Prime Minister in good faith made him governor, wanted to give him an opportunity. But I don't know whether the Prime Minister's plan of, bringing people who are not from the original BJP stock, making them governor, and then a situation like this where serious allegations have been made. Now, the narrative that is sought to be put, that CBI is after Satyapal Malik because he has said something against him. But I think we need to get it clear. As of now, there is no case against Satyapal Malik. As of now, it is only on the basis of the charges that Satyapal Malik has made. But a political battle is beginning, sir. Definitely, where if the caste groups are being involved, if Jat cops are being involved, I think this is going to become a bigger headache for the BJP.
Sorry about that. Can you read the question again? Can you put the question up again? Okay, this is about non-existing industry like semiconductor. India wants to bring up a plant. Are there other things such as computer components, vehicle engines, etc.? शेखर जी, आपका आंसर है, आपका क्वेश्चन है.
Well, sir, this is a very detailed question, which would one has to give when it does require to check up on exact correct information to be provided to Partha. And at the moment, I do not have ready-made answer to this question, but there is definitely some policy changes that were effected in this regard.
20 years it will take before you'll start seeing the results of this, but it's a good change. Rahul Rathod wants to know, there is relentless efforts started by opposition parties with collaboration from Western media activists by targeting government on human rights, press freedom, etc. Will this help opposition parties in any way?
Well, sir, these are not election issues in India, at least. I mean, one is already seeing that these are fought on local issues. But opposition sees this as an opportunity to dent the image of the Prime Minister. Because their whole problem is the personality of Modi and the kind of charisma that is built around his personality, which is giving that BJP the edge with the voters. So therefore, when this is taken up, when a lot of anti-Modi articles appear in Western media, there is always a feeling of great cheer among the opposition leaders, because they charge that since the Prime Minister is so concerned about his image, look, this is going to create a dent. But sir, today the Indian voters, average Indian voter, is not bothered exactly or influenced by what is being said in across the seas. You see that though it's an internet era, so definitely here the voter is more concerned about in terms of deliveries and deliverables, and that is where the opposition is having some problem to pin down the Prime Minister and the BJP on specific issues, on a state-by-state basis. And that's a problem and a challenge before the opposition. If they can manage to get to hold of some 4 or 5 issues and then try to say how the government has failed and manage to convince voters, I think that's a tall task for the opposition so far.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Vijay Joshi wants to know, we had a great reformer in election commission. He used same system. Where did he get backing from then? He's talking about Session.
Oh, TN Session. So TN Session and Subramanian Swamy formed a very powerful pair. After all, it was Subramanian Swamy who appointed TN Session as Chief Election Commissioner.
The objections of the then Prime Minister Chandrasekhar. Chandrasekhar didn't want him. Swamy said, no, he's the guy.
But TN Session and Swamy, as far as I remember, sir, that period, those days I was closely interacted with TN Session. They formed a very, very, very interesting, and there was a kind of a bond, if I remember, because Subramanian Swamy was the most powerful minister in the Chandrasekhar government. Not even Chandrasekhar was as powerful as Subramanian Swamy in that 19-day government.
Well, $3 billion loan without any conditions from IMF is not easy to get, sir. So that tells his caliber for the people. Next question, please. Sridhar Thiruvengadam wants to know, what is the probable number for Congress in Karnataka?
Well, sir, if Congress can actually cross the figure of 100, I mean, and if they can move ahead and say get closer to 105, 106, or even more, then I see a situation where, along with JDS, they will definitely try to form the government. I mean, there won't be any hurdle. But the question is, will Congress emerge as single largest party? If they do, I mean, if it does, I think that will give it some kind of advantage. And of course, the other side is, what is the figure of BJP also? As I said, if both are close to 100, both Congress and BJP are close to 100, and JDS, surprises all of us with a good number in its kitty, then you're going to see a completely different scenario, after May 10th.
Next question, please. Rajdeep Roy wants to know, sir, is there any hidden understanding between BJP and TMC, and what is your analysis on Sagardighi by-election?
No, sir, I don't see any understanding between BJP and TMC happening. Though there have been lull in their fights, there have been lull in Mamata's attacks on Prime Minister. Of course, for a long time, Mamata has not attacked Prime Minister personally. Those were the days where she was so bitter about Prime Minister Modi. She would say, earlier I used to send you rasagullas, today I will send you rasagullas with stones inside them. We have heard such level of anger also. But today, Mamata is very particular that she does not antagonize the Prime Minister making personal remarks. But in terms of political battle between BJP and, sir, what happened in Sagardighi was that Congress and left openly came together. And they managed to recover the opposition space that they had given to BJP. And BJP had been losing ground since the last assembly elections. So Congress and left coming together and BJP losing grounds. It looked like in terms of opposition, Congress and left together were seen as opposition to Mamata. So that was the big message from Sagardighi, and along with the fact that Trinamool is having a lot of internal issues and internal problems among its leaders.
Sir, the 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙥𝙥 and Amit Shah, I lay the blame at their doorstep. When they lost so badly in the state assembly elections, they should have gone to the rescue of some of their ground workers who are readily getting beaten up by the goons of TMC. This is not on. You win fight, you lose some, you win some, and you just move on with your life. And that they did not stop. I mean, Shekharji, I know the viewers here like to say that, BJP is a better party. Yes, I always will hold my nose when I say this thing, because they don't do things right, in my opinion also, because the record is not right. Because, see, that is now, that's what is playing out, Shekharji. The ground worker is no longer confident of his own life and limb when he works for BJP. How do you expect him to work, sir?
And yes, that is one too. And the lack of unity among BJP leaders in Bengal, sir. There's too much of personality clash. I mean, after Suvendhu Adhikari was made leader of the opposition, there are other leaders in Bengal BJP who do not see eye to eye, with Suvendhu Adhikari and are worried about his rise. And Suvendhu Adhikari also, sir, it must be said, though he's much of a mass leader and was once a close aide of Mamata Banerjee, he cannot see anything beyond Mamata Banerjee. He is yet to think in terms as a BJP leader. His fight with Mamata is rather more personal. Now, these are hurting BJP's interest. And you had a drama last week where Mukul Roy, who was elected as a BJP MLA, and within 2 months of the last assembly elections, 2021 election, was openly welcomed in Trinamool Congress by Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee. But Mukul Roy did not resign his seat. Mukul Roy did not give up his membership of BJP as a BJP MLA, because that would have attracted anti-defection laws. And we saw a situation where he came with some expectation, but he did not get fully rehabilitated. And last week a news came that his son has filed a complaint with the police that his father is missing. And Mukul Roy, who is on his way to Delhi, reaches the airport police station and says, no, nobody has kidnapped me. I am here, I am in sound health, and I am going to Delhi. And he reaches Delhi. And in Delhi, he says, I have never left BJP and I want to become active in BJP. All these funny dramas are happening where it goes to show, here's a person who was elected and he still is a BJP
MLA. Next question, please.
And he has several cases involving, Sharda, Narda, Rosewood, whatever scams you had. His name figures prominently in all of them.
I think that's next question from Devendra Singhvi. Why is BJP not considering terrorist activities as terrorist activities? Why are these considering only as normal crimes?
Is Devendraji having any particular incident in mind where an incidents have not been treated as a terrorist act? Rather, the complaint is that NIA is jumping into every case by declaring it a terrorism, an act of terrorism.
Next question, please. And that brings us to a close of today's session. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notification. Shekhar ji, as always, a pleasure having you on our channel, sir. Thank you once again, and we'll again meet next Saturday, same time, same topics. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.